Alright, so Friday the 13th it is today. Obviously, right? Obviously it's Friday the 13th, the day that I chose to decode matter. Yeah, matter guy. Because it matters or doesn't matter. So, everything is magnetized light, okay? Decided to actually look at a periodic table. In about 15 minutes, I was able to find so many synchronicities, I just had to get out of my house. I am chilled to the bone, okay? Now, why is it that 116 seems so important, okay? The number of lines required for you to understand 7 days of creation in the first page of the Bible. That's appearing a bunch of places. All the numbers, the power numbers, the 74s, the 47s, the 32s, the 33s, the 11s, the 28s, the 82s, the 88, the 80, they're all appearing in the periodic table, okay? Now, why are some elements that are called certain things, like Mercury Hg, why? Why is that retarded? There are 9 retarded elements in the periodic table, okay? 126 is important because that's how many total lines there are on the first page of my Bible. Like, they're all popping up, guy. Okay? And I used to think that we're going to go from carbon-based to silicon-based, but we're not. We're going to germanium because we're going to go to Armageddon, which is a 33-dimensional cell, which is germanium is the 32nd element. You know, put a circle around it. You know what I'm saying? And because a 1 is a 3, we wouldn't go to silicon. Silicon would be the bum of the V from a different point of view. Okay? And on and on and on. When does it end? Okay? Literally, I know. With what I know based on creation, I can go back into my house. I can start an Excel file, I'll have another whiteboard or something, and I'm pretty sure I can do the math and show you why the atomic mass of every element is what it is. The atomic name or symbol for every atom is what it is for a reason. The numbering system of where they are positioned in the rows and columns matters. The atomic number itself matters, and the number of rings of electrons matters. Like hydrogen has 1. Helium has 2. Lithium has a 2 and a 1. The next one has a 2 and a 2, 2 and a 3, 2 and a 4, 2 and a 5, 2 and a 6 is carbon, I think. 26, 28, 82, all that stuff, it's all super synchronistic. Like, why is gold and silver not something to do with like a G and an S? You know, why is it AU and AG? Why is it like a fucked up atom? Why are there 9 fucked up atoms? Why are there 2 cells in there that represent a 1 by 15? Okay? Your grid is is a 1 by 8, it's a 7 by 18. But not every space is filled. And there are 2 of those that represent a 1 by 15 and a 1 by 15. Now look at that, 2 1 by 15s is a 30. 2 by 15 is perfection. Okay, start understanding what a 30 is, what a 1 by 30 is. Maybe we'll start to understand what a 2 by 15 is with our conquest and unraveling the mysteries of cellular mathematics that has been hidden from us. I don't know, thousands of years. Okay, go listen to some Audio Slave or Chris Cornell, or go listen to Pearl Jam, or go listen to Rage Against the Machine, or go listen to any of the songs that I've highlighted and liked, okay? You think of everything backwards, okay? Okay, Alanis Morissette looks like a horse face, okay? In Ottawa, I think she was on Darcy's beat, who was a cop named Darcy, and it was his beat. What a little like MTF. You ought to know. Isn't it ironic? Anyways, there's a line, would he go down on you in a theater? Now, anyways, if he is referring to a woman who is actually a man, and you in that sentence would be a woman who is actually like a female who's actually quote unquote backwards, so a man. Like, I literally think that I'm a girl and women are actually boys. And like, if a 0 is a 1 and everything's backwards, that's literally, so now you start listening to music with that backwards sex in your head. Every time I hear the word train or drops of Jupiter, you know what drops of Jupiter are? Okay, when it comes out of the hypercube, the first cell it hits is a circled 3. That's Jupiter. Jupiter's 3, it's next to Saturn, 4. It goes 432, 4328. That's all the quasars and nebula, maybe other universes out there. Now, not even, like other galaxies, other like super giant clusters of like 28 dimensional galaxies, probably. Yeah, we need a couple 28 dimensional cells out there to have what we have, something really complicated. Probably over there they understand a little bit better than we do over here. But anyways, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can define matter. Like, why is potassium K? Why is that the 11th element? Why is the atomic mass what it is? It's all number. It's all everything after the decimal is not literally what it is after the decimal. You have to use cellular mathematics, and I think it has something to do with the seeing eye chart. Remember the seeing eye chart video I did a long time ago about how the guy's name was at the ends of the one by whatever, and then he'd spell like his first name and then his last name. And I'm pretty sure you can take anyone's name and do the cellular math and get the new letters and make your own seeing eye chart. That's not very useful. But I think decoding matter is pretty useful. Not really useful, but it's interesting. It proves once again that I think I'm on to like the biggest thing ever. You know, I broke my toe, my theory of everything. I broke my theory of everything. And it's bigger than I thought. Because I'm talking about light, I'm talking about creation. I haven't really talked much about the creation of matter. Guess I just thought it didn't matter, but I mean, we know some basic rules to cellular mathematics. This might be an opportunity for me to condense my rules and my, I don't know what they're called, rules. It's like, isn't that what they're called, rules? By rules? I don't want to make rules. I want to make something not ruled. Whatever. Statements. Anyways, so, yeah, so if I apply my cellular mathematics to and maybe like the story of creation in cellular mathematics, since it's creating letters, maybe it's creating elements. Like, when is the K created? Is that the 11th element created or something? Like what? The first thing created is an H, and then an HE. An H is an 8. An infinite is created, but it's 90 degrees out of phase. And then you're going to take that infinite, you're going to slap a V on it, because you're going to try to V it to something. And when you V your HE to something, you're going to get a lie. An LI. Okay? I haven't really thought about it all, and the masses. Like, why is the mass of hydrogen 1.008? I know, 1.0 is a fly speck between a 1 and a 0, which is a 9. And if a 1.0 is a 9, you're left with an 08, and 08 is an 18, is a 9. It's balance. And onward I go. Like, I literally just did a Google Hangout with my buddy from over yonder, and I don't know how entertaining it was, but I was basically staring at a periodic table, jibber-jabbering, ranting about numbers that he couldn't see because I had to focus on one thing or the other. But I mean, I think in 10 minutes of me looking at the periodic table, again, I found way too many interesting synchronicities with number and creation number and cellular math. And why is the 74th element and the 47th element represented by a symbol that does not equate to what the element is called? Like potassium is a K. Obviously potassium is a K. Why would potassium not be a K? So I saw a slug, and I don't know, there might be more. So moving on up. Okay, so literally, guy, I'm right about everything. Okay. And it sucks. It's lonely. And I don't want to look and do any more research into anyone's shit about anything. I took a look at some pictures and stuff. They're cool. Obviously, you have an iPad with an app where you import pictures and then you doodle in your pictures. I do the same thing. So, cool. Your planets on your tree of life are wrong. Your luminaries on your tree of life are wrong. Surprising. So, seriously, guy, I'm freaking out. And there's lots of things to decode in the periodic table because there's so many groups, right? Because you have your noble gases, you have your nonmetals, which is what carbon is, but then you're going from a nonmetal carbon to a metalloid silicon and germanium because 3 is a 1. You got to make the V. You got to make a 1, a 1, and a 1, and a 1 by 2, and a 1 by 2, and then a 1 by 5. You got to make a 6. You got to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a whole. Try upside down 9. That's the whole basis. So, yeah, germanium is a 33-dimensional cell, and the Germans wore a swastika. And apparently they killed Jews, and they had to be, dealt with. And after the war was finished, World War II, Germany got firebombed for like whatever amount of time. Not like soldiers were there, just citizens. But yeah, Germany's bad. Germany wanted to control the world because they understood that germanium was the 32nd element, and I guess a 33-dimensional cell would be a 33 by 33 matrix. Would that not be correct? Yeah. 8-bit cell. 8th dimension is infinite. It's a 9 by 9 matrix, so a 32-bit cell is a 33 by 33 matrix. What's 33 times 33? 1008? Is that what it is? Sounds an awful lot like 108. Or the representation between the 8 and the 110, or Mars and Venus, which is the end of the 12 points of balance, which is a knot of an infinite loop that we're trapped inside of unless you choose to educate yourself about the cellular nature of energy, the cellular nature of Earth, the cellular nature of mathematics, the cellular nature and creation pattern of Roman numerals, and reverse engineering everything I've done up to now. But like now I'm getting into I'm way past Fibonacci, guy, way past Fibonacci. Now I'm getting to deconstructing matter via number. And like in one of the gematrias it said show them the colors, and I didn't know what that meant or something. It's moving with colors. And the periodic table is pretty colorful. You have all these little colorful groups. Okay. Yeah, neon is interesting. Neon reminds me of my birthday because it has 2 electrons in the first ring, 8 electrons in the second ring. 2 and 8 is a 10. It's the, I believe, 10th element is neon. So a 10 and a 8 and a 2 for a 10 is a 20. Anyways, Ne is a 19. N is a 14. E is a 5, that's a 19, 1982. There's a NE, ends in E, which is a 5, May, 10th element, May 10, NE, 82. That's my birthday. Neon. Neon reminds me of boron added to something. Boron and carbon. Am I boring carbon? I sure hope not. So, yeah, anyways. So, 107 to 13 110, 379. All this code will be translated into the periodic table soon.